Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Christmas in July special edition of the Clicks to Riches show. I'm Martin, sitting in for Santa Claus because he's probably on a beach somewhere. And right here is my partner in crime, the incomparable Leah.
Hey, everyone.
We're thrilled you're with us today because we're fast forwarding the calendar to Q4, the ultimate season for print-on-demand entrepreneurs like you.
We get it. You might be more concerned with basking in the sunshine on a beach right now, sipping iced drinks, with Christmas being the furthest thing from your mind. But Q4 is where the magic and the money is. Your holiday sales, they don't just happen, they explode. And how well you prep now directly impacts how much cash you pocket later.
Think of the POD sales year in two parts. From January to September, you follow the rule book. Come October through December, toss that rulebook out the window because it's a whole new game. Sales volumes soar, trends shift, and sellers that plan early play smarter, not harder.
So today, we're unpacking how to win Q4 from the ground up, from forecasting and marketing calendars to product positioning and fulfillment flows.
And joining us a little bit later to explore this topic is the queen of holiday hustle herself, Christina Umerez from See You Online. She's navigated multiple POD holiday seasons, and she's here to spill the secrets.
Plus, we'll bring you the latest POD trends, hot selling products, prize giveaways, and the newest updates from Printify. So fasten your seatbelts because the Clicks to Riches show starts right now.
All right, well, Leah, I know I say this every single time, but I am super excited about today's episode because, well, it's a topic I'm super passionate about. Q4 prep, like, I don't know if you know this, but I actually wrote the book here on Q4 prep. So I'm super excited to be sharing all this with our audience today.
I think we're all super excited too, and I'm super excited because I genuinely believe that this year Q4 is going to be the biggest Q4 ever. I know we say that every year, but it's going to be exploding.
We say it every year because it's true every single year. I mean, for the foreseeable future, every single Q4 from here on out is going to be bigger than the last. That's what's so cool about this industry. It's ever expanding. So we're going to make the case today as to why you should be concerned about that right now here at the end of July. So stick around. We're going to have ourselves a great time. And along the way, we're going to give away some prizes because our research shows that you like getting stuff for free. So at the end of today's presentation, we'll put a link into the chat to our post-show survey, where 3 of you who fill out the survey completely will be entered to win at random a prize package consisting of a super awesome Clicks to Riches t-shirt, which we wouldn't hold against you if you re-gifted this holiday season, and $50 of Printify sales credit placed directly into your account. Stick around for the end to be eligible for that. But along the way, we're going to give away out 3 coupon codes at 3 different times during our presentation, and we'll give you the opportunity to type those in, and the 3 of you that type it in the fastest will win $15 of Printify sales credit. You'll have 3 opportunities to win, so you could win up to $45. So, but I think right now is a great time to give away our first coupon code. So folks, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and take out your Printify accounts and do exactly as I say. I'm gonna need you to click on the left-hand side where it says Wallet, go down to where it says Reward Center, find the coupon code section, and prepare to enter today's first coupon code. And if you do win, let us know in the comments so we can all celebrate your win. But you'll either get the credit or you'll see a notice that says this coupon doesn't exist because we only made 3 of them. All right, so folks, to kick off today's show, let's give out our first coupon code. Q4 Fever, $3 just like this. We can't make it too easy for you folks. I hear fingers tapping away all over the world.
Puzzle for all the fingers.
Exactly. All right. And speaking of that, chat, we're going to be covering all sorts of cool topics today. You're going to have questions. We'll be happy to answer that during the dedicated Q&A portion. So as they pop up, no need to hang on to those to the end. Drop those into the chat. Our moderator Talish will collect those, and we'd be happy to address those, like I said, during the dedicated Q&A portion. Wow, so much stuff to cover. I'm super excited. Leah, what's that chat looking like today?
Super active. If you won this coupon code, let us know in the chat so we can all celebrate you, of course. But let's give some shout outs first. I've already seen a bunch of people from Florida, so everybody checking in from Florida, hello, welcome. We have some love for Christina from Pup Styles Haven, Linda, we have Natalie saying hello. We have Mike of all trades, and more love to Christina, his favorite Canadian.
All right, well, a lot of love for our guest today. That's absolutely awesome. But let's go ahead and continue on with the show and hit today's hot topics in the form of headlines, ladies and gentlemen. Now, folks, we're going to be sharing a lot of information tonight, a lot of links and stuff. We're going to add those to the chat, but you can also find those in the episode description, so you'll be sure to follow along. All right. So our first story today, ladies and gentlemen, well, before we get into it, let me just say that it's kind of a slow news cycle right now, and that's to be expected because right now in the print-on-demand season, this is a traditionally low point in sales. So if you're out there and you're wondering like why you're not getting as many sales as you usually do, no need to panic. That's just the way it goes. But it's a great opportunity for us to discuss preparation for the future. And I selected this article here about vinyl sticker sales tripling because it goes unnoticed quite a bit that the fact that Kiss Cut stickers and vinyl stickers in general are a super popular product in print on demand. They're always in the top 10. Now, why is this? I mean, you can buy a pack of stickers from Walmart for like $1. So how can print-on-demand sellers compete against that kind of pricing? Well, you do that because there is a shift in the mindset of the consumer to want more personalization, and with the advancements in printing techniques, coming up with these stickers is easier than ever. So what we have done is we've put together a sticker guide for you. We're going to pop that into the chat. It's also in the episode description that explains the ins and outs, the nuances of selling stickers. And Leah, you also published a video not too long ago about this, right?
Yes, we did a full deep dive into stickers and specifically how to price them. We get a lot of questions on how to price stickers because shipping one sticker could get kind of expensive. We get it, they're a small item. We have all sorts of strategies, particularly bundling with those. So check out the video and you'll get a full deep dive into pricing, designing, everything you need.
Don't sleep on stickers, folks. All right, moving along, let's give a shout out to our friends over there at Etsy. Now, they recently put out their Etsy community newsletter. If you're not aware of this, it's actually a super cool resource to get like real-time information about trends on Etsy. It's like putting your finger on the pulse of what's going on Etsy, and just talking about like different popular colors that are popular on the site. If you're looking for which sort of color palette to use on your designs, this is a great place to find that, along with videos with industry insiders and successful sellers. It's actually a really good resource. If you haven't checked it out, please do.
Yeah, so definitely something to read along, follow. We also have a fall products video coming up, which aligns nicely with these colors and aesthetics that Etsy's talking about. So if you plan on selling this fall, hitting those vibes, stay tuned to our channel. We're gonna have more info on that.
Excellent. All right, and then finally, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Stand Up to Cancer. Now, if you haven't heard about this, folks, it's gonna be a live broadcast. It's gonna take over all major US networks on August 15th. Now, they're a close friend of the Printify family, and I just want to give them a shout out and let you folks know all about this so you can participate and perhaps donate if you feel so inclined. We're going to put a link to their site in the chat, also in the video description. But this is an excellent opportunity for you to participate in a worthy cause, and we're just bringing it to light here. Shout out to the Stand Up to Cancer folks. It's going to be a great show. Check it out on the 15th. Trending products, ladies and gentlemen. Which products are climbing the charts? Now, we excluded the tried and true winners, your t-shirts, your sweatshirts, and hoodies and whatnot, and we looked for the outliers. What's climbing the charts? And that's what we have selected for you here today. Indoor wall tapestries, desk mats, woven blankets, car magnets, and the one that is making its first appearance in this section is the backpack, the AOP backpack, printed in the United States by MWW. Now, this is a harbinger of the back-to-school season. Now, these kind of backpacks are super popular during the back-to-school season. Actually, they increase year over year. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to provide something for your customers and their children. It's extremely unique so that they can express a little bit of their individuality this school year.
This is a great opportunity also to kind of create some bundles for those backpacks. Offer like a phone case to go along with that vibe, or a tumbler or something like that. And the desk mat also, and the tapestries. I'm not really surprised by these because kids and parents for their kids want like a study zone or a focus zone, or if you're going off to university, you got to decorate your dorm, right? They want kind of these matching collections.
Sure, and car magnets, they just keep coming back. I'm surprised at the staying power and the sales and the attractiveness of car magnets out there. So just something to think about,
Let
folks.
us know if you sell car magnets. What's happening for you?
I'd be interested to know. Or if anyone's sold a backpack yet, let us know in the chat. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, another check-in with our friends over at eRank and the current keywords trending therein. Now, what I've done is I have taken the applicable keywords that apply to us in our industry, and I've gathered them here for you today. Number one with a bullet is Halloween, perfectly aligning with our Q4 discussion today. People are already out there doing their Halloween shopping. And of course, t-shirt, Halloween shirt again, so it just shows you how powerful that currently is. Phone case, wall art, and back to school shirt, supporting everything we have discussed so far, all trending on eRank.
If you've been wanting to post your stuff for Halloween, this is your sign to do it right now. Don't wait any longer. We're just on the edge of kind of reaching that limit where the algorithm's gonna find someone else that posted their stuff earlier.
Exactly.
So get on it.
And in terms of what you need to keep your eye on in the sales season, well, it's gonna be dominated by the back to school season, okay? It's actually going on right now. It'll go through the month of August into the beginning of September, but it's a wonderful opportunity for you to capitalize on this kind of demand. And plus, if you're selling stuff to pet owners this month, well, August is going to be your sweet spot with International Cat Day on August 8th and National Dog Day on August 26th.
I feel like pet owners are always kind of a safe target. I mean, I think we just had a national pet your dog day and a national cat day. Every month there's some sort of pet day.
Sure.
So.
Point being, there's all these opportunities out there to reach out and communicate with your audience if you sell pet products. And a wonderful opportunity for you to offer a little bit of personalization, because a dog bowl is cute, but a dog bowl with your dog's name on it, even better. Okay, so I hear you folks out there asking what's new with Printify, and that's exactly what we have lined up for you right now, folks, because we got some really cool stuff I'm excited to bring to you. So the first being QR codes for the pop-up store. Now, this is a very cool, very interesting development, giving you a layer of marketing activity, another sales strategy that you can employ. Basically, you're able to generate QR codes that lead directly to specific listings, and you can use this in any number of different ways. We also allow folks to download a marketing pack and stuff like that. We'll pop a link to the Help Center article that explains more, but just know that we are at work. We're hard at work making your pop-up shop experience as better, and this is just simply the latest edition.
I actually love this new feature update because it allows you to be a walking billboard for your products. Yes. Now, you already should be. You might be wearing your t-shirts that you design or carrying your tote bags, and someone asks you hey, that's really cute. Where did you get that? You don't have to say, oh, it's in my shop. I'll send you the link here. You can just boom. Show them a QR code, they scan it, and they're brought right away to that exact product. So use this to your complete advantage.
Right, and because it's part of the pop-up shop, it's free to use. So there you go. Also, speaking of Printify Choice, ladies and gentlemen, we've just made ordering bulk products even easier. So now if you are sourcing products through the Printify Choice network, well, you can source bulk products right there. We're gonna pop in a link so you can contact our bulk order team. If you're interested in this aspect of the business, which actually has been growing exponentially over the past few years, if you're interested in that, contact our team and let's have a discussion.
Stickers are a very good product to sell in bulk.
Yes.
Stickers. Think about even kind of like the B2B or side of it, business to business. Think about small businesses like boutiques. Maybe they want custom package labels or thank you stickers. So you can even target those types of customers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. Folks, if anybody out there has sold a sticker, even one sticker, let us know in the chat. Put in an S in the chat. I want to see how many of you people out there have actually successfully sold a sticker. Because if I don't see a lot of S's, well then I think we figured out your next product that you might need to focus on. All right. And finally, folks, Amplified 2025. It's happening again this year, the third annual Amplified. It's an absolutely amazing session. There you can see our guest, Christina, right there on the bottom right. It was an absolute amazing event last year. We covered so many awesome topics. I mean, Leah, what can we expect from Amplified this year?
Everything. Everything. We're going to have all the biggest influencers. They're going to be giving you their tips, tricks. We're going to talk all about the latest updates we've made in Printify throughout the year. We're going to have some fun. We're going to show some products, do some hands-on tutorials. You're going to see everything. And it's completely free. Free,
exactly. So sign up today. There's going to be a link. Get your ticket today. Again, it's free. And it's an all-day thing. I mean, it's going to be like hours and hours long. It's going to be fun. I guarantee it. If you've seen it before, just know we're taking it up to 11 this year. All right, folks. Well, now's a great opportunity for me to invite you to join me for my live Q&A sessions that I do on Mondays and Wednesdays on the Sellers Club. And again, that's 100% free as well. Now, use code JOINSELLERS2025 to get a free month of the Sellers Club, because on the other side of the paywall, you'll have access to all sorts of really cool live mentor sessions, POD boot camps, and all sorts of cool courses. They do like exclusive giveaways and contests specifically for Sellers Club members, and the biggest advantage is going to be just taking part in that community. But on the happy side of the paywall, the free side, you can join me for my live Q&A sessions Mondays and Wednesdays. No topic is off the limit. Join me and let's talk about what you want to talk about.
One of the biggest things I do have to say about Sellers Club, if you're kind of debating whether to pay for that fee or not, is that these courses also, they're very comprehensive. They're more A to Z, everything in order. So if you're specifically wanting to learn more about design, you'll find everything, again, A to Z on how to start if you're a beginner, if you're kind of somewhere in the middle, or if you want to learn specifically about Etsy. The very first steps you need to take all the way up until you get your first sale, for example. So it's more in order.
Sure, or selling on TikTok or Amazon, what have you. Even if you're just thinking about going this direction, Sellers Club is going to be your place to start that journey. All right, folks. Well, we're here to talk about Q4, so let's go ahead and continue that discussion, ladies and gentlemen. After all, it is Christmas in July. So first of all, let's just talk a little bit about why it matters. Well, because for some of you, you could earn up to 40% of your entire sales during this brief window. When I worked with our biggest merchants, some would make the bulk of their yearly sales during this time. It's an absolutely crazy time of the year and the best time of the year to be a print-on-demand merchant. And if we if we define exactly what Q4 is, well, it's the last 3 months of the year. It's your October, it's your November, it's your December. And it includes the crazy holiday season. And I'll illustrate exactly what I mean by that here in just a second. So when we say Q4, we're talking holidays. One thing you should familiarize yourself with is how this season rolls. Okay, in October you've got the Halloween on to Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all of the dates therein. And I want to illustrate this fact, and I think this graphic does it. And the fact being that this is a limited opportunity. It kicks off about the second week in November, and then by halfway through December, it is over. So when we talk holiday season, we're really talking about this small window of opportunity, which makes it super crucial that you plan accordingly, because once it's over, it's over. And any opportunity you leave on the table, you'll have to wait until next year to get back to. Okay, so it's super important that you make sure that once it kicks off, all of your ducks are in a row. And if we just look at some of the numbers here, I mean, they're crazy numbers, okay? 300 billion from the entire Q4 in all of e-commerce. And of that, 240 is specifically the holiday season. And of that, Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday made up 41 billion. And this is up about 8 to 10% over the previous year. And we're going to be having this conversation next year, talking about how this year's figures were 8 to 10% or even more above last year's. And it's the most mobile-friendly holiday season ever, at least 2024 was, and I feel no reason that 2025 will be any different. So it's super important that your storefront is optimized for phone sales, because 54.5% of all sales happen through a phone. Super crucial right there. And a little bit about consumer behavior. Shoppers, of course, they want bargains. If you're not offering a bargain, guess what? Your competition is. And you're going to have to employ some promo-heavy strategies. And consumers prioritized value over the savings. So it's not necessarily the price they were looking for, but the value you provide. So your value proposal is going to be super crucial. Now, we'll do a deeper dive into sales strategies, Q4 sales strategies at a later date once we get a little bit closer. But the parameters of our discussion today will deal with exactly what you should be doing right now to get yourself ready. And of course, finally, buy now, pay later featured prominently in a lot of consumer purchases, just offering your customers another layer to complete their transaction. It just gives them an opportunity to buy from you versus somebody else if you give them this kind of flexibility. So that might be something to investigate if your sales channel allows for this kind of functionality. But Leah, let's talk exactly about what our merchants should be doing right now to prepare for Q4. What do you got for us?
Yes, so I'm gonna give you guys kind of some general tips here, then Christina's gonna dive way deeper. But first of all, we already know that most people are shopping this time of year. They're shopping for not just themselves, but they're buying gifts for others. And so because of these holidays, they're also expecting these usual discounts, and you have to be prepared for those. So what can you expect with this influx of shoppers? Well, you can definitely expect more sales, hopefully, right? You're gonna have more orders. You're gonna have more customer questions with that. So you're gonna have questions maybe asking about specific products. Can you personalize it? You might get questions about order status, or maybe they have an issue or they want a refund for some reason. So expect more questions. Be ready for possible delays and cancellations. And in a moment, I will show you kind of a little cheat to see more about delays, but just be prepared for those. They are inevitable this time of year. It happens throughout the entire industry, no matter where you're selling, what you're selling. And with that, you may also have to be ready for an increase in production times, okay? Both production and shipping times can increase. It's normal, it's inevitable for this time of year, but the industry as a whole has really made massive improvements. They've invested in way more stock. They've invested in more hands, to get all these products out. And so they know the what's happening in Q4. They're prepared for it. And we also are here to make Q4 as smooth as possible for you with a variety of tools. So first of all, Printify Choice. If you have not seen Printify Choice yet, we do kind of that back-end research for you of the print providers. We will choose the best quality, the fastest shipping, and the best priced provider for that item. So you're gonna be able to profit a little bit more, offer a bit cheaper prices to your customer, and they're gonna get it faster as well. So we kind of do that behind the scenes thinking for you in that sense. Next up, we have the network fulfillment status page. Now, we're gonna share this link in the chat for you, but I'm also gonna show you quickly on my screen just how it works. So the Printify network fulfillment status here, you can scroll down and basically what you can see, here we go, you can choose your print provider that you're going with, and you find the name, you can see the current status. So is production affected, and what are the estimated production times? So let's scroll down here. Right now it's pretty green, which is very good. Okay, so we see one that says production is delayed, and we see how long. Okay, so this might be normal, and that's okay. We see, if we scroll down, we see an orange button. There's a slight production, 4 to 6 business days. So expect this to be a little bit more occurring during Q4, and the way you can be prepared for it is just be ready to message your customers and just let them know, hey, due to the influx in orders, we have a bit of a delay. Most customers will be quite forgiving if you're honest, if you're upfront with it, okay? So next up, also, we have a full holiday season guide. Every year we build a comprehensive holiday season guide to send to you. We'll share the links for that as well. Now, a lot of the information is kind of the same year to year, strategies in general don't change, but we give a lot of new tips, new products, new kind of trends to keep an eye out for. And last but not least, we of course have a ton of videos, interviews, blogs, all about Q4 and marketing and strategies and how to get the most sales on Cyber Monday, for example. So check out our YouTube channel, our blog, our help center, all of those different resources that we have for you. All right, let's talk now about some top selling products for Q4. Now, of course, every year we're gonna have some seasonal standouts, okay? The seasonal standouts are going to be your Christmas items, ornaments, Christmas stockings, wrapping paper. Think about personalizing all of these items. These sell like hotcakes every Q4, okay? Next up, we have these products that are just favorites for people to gift. They're easy, they're simple, they can be personalized, things like mugs, scented candles, blankets, puzzles even. So these are kind of people's favorite gifts to give. And then of course we have our typical bestsellers that sell all year round that you should definitely have in your shop. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, things like the accent mug, posters, stickers, as we've mentioned before, tote bags. So those typical year-round bestsellers are gonna do just fantastic in Q4 as well. All right, so how can we plan ahead? Well, the worst thing you can do for Q4 is go in blind. You have to make a plan, okay? The first thing, and probably the easiest thing that you can do for yourself, is start by building a calendar. Now, we showed that timeline kind of earlier, but mark in those key sales date, whether that's Halloween for you, or Thanksgiving, or Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas. Note those on your calendar so you know which events to target specifically with your shop or where to put promotions, okay? Have a far in advance view of those events, okay? Next thing you can do, consider personalization. Now, we've been talking about this left and right over and over again, but if you're not already offering some sort of personalization options, try it this year. Most shoppers are buying for someone else, so if you put your business kind of into gift giving mode, you're gonna speak more to these customers. They're gonna be able to give something that's a little bit more unique or maybe even sentimental to their loved one, okay? And of course, now you need to think ahead to create specific holiday designs. So we talked about Halloween. If you have not already created your Halloween designs, you're right on the edge. You really got to get those up. But if you're creating specifically for Thanksgiving or fall or Christmas, those designs need to be in the works right now, getting up to your store. Plan ahead for that. And last but not least, we have to talk about customer service. This is probably the most important thing that you have to be ready for in Q4. So as I mentioned, you're gonna have more orders. That means you're gonna have more questions from customers, and you have to be prepared for those unexpected issues. And hopefully they won't be unexpected because you'll be prepared, right? So over 50% of customers do expect a response within the hour. We know it's really hard to be by your computer or phone 24/7. No one likes to do it, but there is kind of a little workaround I'll show you in a moment. And 93% of customers say that an excellent customer service experience motivates them to buy again from your shop specifically. So this is really, really important. And knowing all your plans, your workflows, your processes ahead of time and having them written out however is easy for you is going to help you be way more efficient. It won't put you into overdrive. It won't put you into panic mode if an issue does come up for the first time. You'll know what to do. So how can we do this? I'm gonna share my screen again here on Etsy. And if you're not familiar yet, or if you're new to Etsy, there is an option to create quick replies, okay? Now, how to see this, you actually do have to have some messages already in your Etsy account for it to be available, but you'll see down here, quick replies. And basically, if you view all, you can set up all sorts of templates to not automatically respond, but automatically input that message. So the ones shown here, custom orders, personalization, these are Etsy's kind of pre-written templates. I would definitely go in here and I would edit this, and you want to make it to your shop's voice, your brand. Make it how you would speak with your customers, okay? So you can do that, or you can even create your own completely new category, whatever makes sense for you. You can create your own template here. So that's a really good thing to set up when it comes to order issues, or even just a simple like, hey, we received your order, thanks, send it out as fast as possible. And so I mentioned that customers, they like a response within the hour, right? We can't always be by our phones. So there is actually an option you'll see in the top here, auto reply, and you can set this up either temporarily or like a weekly one. If you're on vacation for 3 days, or you're gonna be away from the computer for a day, you can set this up and just have it something like, hey, we see your order, we'll get to it, thank you. Something like that, So it doesn't force you to be at your computer or phone the entire time.
Exactly. And there is no more powerful tool in the arsenal of customer service than a fast response. Get back to your customers as quickly as possible, because guess what? If you don't, they're going to move on and buy something from your competition. And we don't want that. We want them buying from you. Thank you very much, Leah. I appreciate that. And our audience sure appreciates those tips. And I want to get into some more with Christina Umerez here in just a second. But first, folks, how about we give away a little bit more money? Great. Sound good? Good. All right. So I'm going to ask you to pull out your Printify accounts, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to announce today's second coupon code. And I don't know if we had anybody that put into the chat that they won, but if you do win, please let us know in the chat so we can all celebrate. So again, folks, pull out your Printify accounts. Click on the left-hand side where it says Wallet and go down to where it says Reward Center. Find the coupon section and prepare to enter today's second coupon code for $15 of Printify sales credit placed directly into your account. Ornaments for the win. All one word, long word, just like this. Oh my goodness. Yes, when it comes to holiday sales, if you're not selling ornaments during the holiday season, you are leaving money on the table. They sell like hotcakes, ladies and gentlemen, and during the holidays, that's the only time of the year when you're going to be able to sell them. Yeah, good luck trying to sell an ornament in June, but during the holiday season, yeah, especially if you can offer like some personalization as well, it's just a great addition to your to your product strategy that's going to pay dividends. Ornaments for the win, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go ahead and move along because we have Christina Umerez waiting backstage. Christina, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Christina, you can follow her on both on both TikTok and on YouTube at See You Online. And we're going to pop those links into the chat. And you can also find them available in the description as well. So you can follow along. And I highly recommend that everybody within the sound of my voice become a super fan of Christina Umerez. All right, Christina. So thanks for joining us. We're super excited you're here. So let's kick things off with a little trivia question to break the ice. And you folks at home can play along as well. So, Christina, you ready?
Kind of, yes.
Okay, well, don't be too nervous. I'm not going to make it too hard on you. But folks, put your answer into the chat and we'll give you an opportunity to respond as well. So, Christina, what was Etsy's color of the year this year? Was it A, strawberry soda? Was it B, mango surprise? C, lemon delight, or D, lime cream? Okay, now don't answer yet. I want to give our folks at home an opportunity to answer. Okay, I'm gonna read the options one more time. What is Etsy's color of the year? Is it A, strawberry soda, B, mango surprise, C, lemon delight, or D, lime cream? What's your answer?
Well, guessing on this one, I know the Pantone color of the year, but I'm gonna guess just because I'm gonna guess C.
C. So your answer is lemon delight. What do we have our folks at home guessing right now?
We have people guessing all of the answers.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. The correct answer is D, lime cream. Lime cream. You were close. You had C. You're only one off, so we're not going to hold it against you, Christina.
Lemons lately. I was going through lemons. I was like, ask me the Pantone one.
But Christina, you're definitely onto something because lemons have totally been trending as a design. You know, I've seen cute little lemon patterns everywhere, so you're not wrong either.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is a trend. We got lemons.
Exactly. Plus, it's summertime. People are thinking lemonade. You have an excuse for having lemons on the brain. But let's go ahead and dive into things because people want to know your take on Q4 preparation. So, what's new in your world right now? Like, what are you excited about in POD?
Yeah, so the big thing, I've always been an Etsy girl, selling on Etsy since 2021. My big feat for this year is also kind of running my brand on Shopify as well. So it's just kind of been, this was a project last year too, but this year specifically has been where it is kind of like, oh, I figured it out. So right now I'm in full just planning for Q4 for both Etsy and then putting all of those new designs also on Shopify just to reach, I guess, two different audiences has just been my big project lately.
Okay, so today's discussion is all about Q4. So in your opinion, how important is Q4 for the POD seller?
It is, like, I hate winter. before I used to. Now I absolutely love winter because that means it is Q4. It is my sales time. Especially for me, like my best sellers are sweatshirts, but even if you sell t-shirts, even if you sell summer products, like those do so well in Q4. For me, there's days during Q4 where I make 10 times the amount of sales I do on the other days. So, like the amount of sales that I'm getting and the revenue that I'm getting from Q4 sometimes can equal to everything else I've gotten up until that point in the year. So, for me, Q4 is massive, and it's my own little Christmas before Christmas.
There you go. You mentioned sweatshirts. Tell the audience, what is the most popular color of sweatshirt you sell?
People love sand. Sand, that's always been one of my best sellers. And then I just have a really good forest green mock-up that kills it. So people also love my forest green. And lately, this year, actually, I've been getting a lot of ash as well.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned sand because that color came on a few years ago and I thought it was just going to be a flash in the pan, but it is here to stay. I mean, sand
Yeah.
is super popular, especially for sweatshirts, not necessarily like t-shirts and stuff, but sweatshirts, yeah, it just rules the roost. So,
Yes,
wonderful.
yeah, I know. I'm so surprised too. I've got so many samples, but yeah, every time I usually test a mock-up with sand as well, and just the sand one always kills it. People love that color.
Okay. Well, Christina, let's step in the Wayback Machine. Why don't you tell us what your experience in Q4 was last year?
Yeah, so Q4 last year, yeah, it was probably my best one yet. I remember I had for me throughout the year, I can have days where it's like I average about maybe 20 sales a day on like the slower months. Q4, I have days up to 200 organic sales in a day, which
Wow.
is just from Etsy organic, no like doing extra work. It's just the sheer amount of volume and people searching. So last year was just an awesome year for me. Yeah, which is overall the Shopify was starting. It was nothing compared to my Etsy last year. Um, but yeah, when I always get really excited for Q4, and I think I saw a slower come up last year. I usually start to see it in September-ish. I'll notice sales slowly increasing. So I did see a slight less curve at the beginning of last Q4, but then I think it was because Black Friday was later last year than the previous year, and that was when things were like, okay, it's made up for that.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Let's stay in the Wayback Machine. Like, how have you seen the industry improve over compare your first Q4 to like last year's Q4? How has the industry itself like comprehensively improved? In terms of stock availability and fulfillment and things like that. How have you seen that evolve over the years?
So every year I see people complain, but I always look back like, you don't know how bad it's been my first year. And back then, like I wasn't making these 200 sales a day. Like that was when I was first starting getting a few sales a day. And we're talking about, like I mentioned, Sand's my best seller. That was out of stock everywhere. I remember I was putting it like there was a few, not every supplier had it in Printify back then. They all sold out, so I was routing it to Canada, which then sold out. Then I started moving it to Printful, which then sold out. Actually, I can't remember. Yeah, I think they had sand back then too. But I just remember my first year was full of, sorry, I'm out of stock. Sorry, I'm out of stock. And having to message people. And I have noticed that year over year, that's gotten so much better.
Yeah, you mentioned sand went out of stock a few years ago. That inevitably happens every single year because you never know what that trending color is going to be. That year it was sand. Everybody on Earth decided they wanted a sand-colored sweatshirt, and the industry just wasn't prepared for it. Because how are they supposed to forecast which way the wind is going to blow? But I guarantee you, the following year there was no problem fulfilling sand. That's just how it works, folks. So you might run into these kind of things where all of a sudden, like Heather Olive, like Bella Canvas 3001 t-shirts get super popular. That actually happened one year, and then stock just disappears. But the one thing that's cool about this industry is that we recognize that. So as we move forward, we put plans in place, not only Printify, but our print partners and all down the supply chain, put in improvements during the off season so that when that Q4 hits, everything runs as smoothly as possible. But with that said, you just never know. Okay, so let's stay in with the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, when you're picking colors, just like a big thing of advice, make sure on Printify that other providers have that color. Because sometimes it's just like one provider that has it, they're running out of stock, and if there's no backups, there's no other options. So now I'm always making sure if like, okay, if SwiftPod has this color, at least somebody else out there also has it as a backup.
Okay. Well, let's stay with the Q4 discussion and move our focus to the beginning of Q4, mainly Halloween. Do you focus on Halloween at all? Is that on your radar?
So for me, I actually have a very different Q4 strategy, I think, than most people. For me, and it's like how I kind of base or I attribute a lot of success to doing this, but I actually don't focus on holidays until I've built up a good base of evergreen niches. Evergreen niches are not tied to a holiday, so things that are not like Halloween focused or Thanksgiving themed or Christmas themed, I'll add those on top as a booster, but I don't kind of rely on those sales to make me all of my sales. For people during Q4, yes, people are buying Halloween shirts. Yes, people are buying Thanksgiving shirts, and those can sell like crazy. But in my kind of previous experience, what people are buying the most during Q4 is gifts, and gifts aren't tied to a theme. You're not going to buy someone a Christmas gift that's Halloween themed. You're not going to buy a Christmas gift that is even Christmas themed half of the time. It's going to be a gift. And usually if they're buying gifts, they can buy 10 different gifts for 10 different people in different evergreen niches.
Okay, so
and
yeah.
then
Go ahead.
And then as well, because that I do that after Q4 as well, those products that have now climbed in the rankings because you made Q4 sales, they still have a chance to sell after Christmas next year. So I do attribute to a lot of success from my first year. Everything was evergreen. And then as soon as January came, my store actually didn't plateau to what it was pre Q4. It actually stayed decently high because I did all evergreen things that still kept selling as gifts throughout the following year.
That's a great point to make because in addition to these sort of holiday themed products and designs that we are discussing, well, you have to consider that those evergreen products are still going to be even in higher demand and even more so during the holiday season. So that's an excellent point to make. But Christina, what advice do you have for our audience that may be prepping for the first time this year?
I think the big thing when you're first starting prepping is to start with research. Well, the first thing first is just know to start early. I'm already prepping right now. Actually, this week with some of my students, we started putting together our goals. So I want to put up 3 new listings every single week, or some people have a goal of I want to test 10 different niches this week. So first of all, setting your goal and something that you can stick to moving forward. And then as well, just making sure you're starting all of those designs and those listings from research first. Okay. You want to be looking at what's already doing well for people. Right now, for a while, we had the coquette trend doing really well. That seemed to have died down a little bit, but there's so many new trends that start popping up that can be applied to a bunch of different niches that you can use to get a whole bunch of listings out without having to constantly come up with new designs. So I'll find a trend, for example, or even just a design style doing well. For example, this year, right now, you might see a lot of bestsellers that are literally just a line of funny text across the top of a shirt. You can apply that design to 20 different niches. Have ChatGPT write up 20 funny sayings related to different niches. Get those up and test multiple different niches. Now you've covered 20 different searches on Etsy as well. So I use that kind of strategy to get out the volume when it comes to listing for Q4. So it's still based on research, but you're able to just speed up things.
Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned ChatGPT because I think that should be everybody's Santa's little helper this year, your little Christmas elf in your little quiver to be to help you along, not only with the research, but like you mentioned with coming up with those sayings and things like that. Folks, if you're not folding in these sort of AI tools into your workflow, unfortunately, I'm worried you might be left behind. So make sure, at least at some level, on a basic level, start employing those tools. But since the holiday season is so hectic, and the tagline is "Expect the unexpected," how do you handle like fulfillment delays, stock shortages, and things like that, and reprints, and the communications with your customers? What sort of advice do you have for our audience on that?
The first thing I want to say is it's going to happen. A lot of people are going to freak out. One thing that I noticed just online in general, you're going to hear from people a lot more when they have mistakes, more so than you are going to hear when things went smoothly. So like when you're on forums and stuff, you might get scared because you're seeing, oh, Q4, you're going to run into so many problems, but so many things go well. It's just because the sheer volume of things that things might feel a little heavier and a little worse. I had one year where I had quite a few orders where people were getting the complete wrong product. They were getting a different design. That was like years ago. But I just had to remember, okay, I had 2 orders go wrong this week out of so many, but it's really, really easy to focus on those ones that are bad, but just know everyone's having these issues. Every single business you do is going to have these kinds of hurdles. So don't freak out about them. Don't lose sleep over them. Customers are a lot more understanding than you think as well. So for me, the first thing that I'm usually doing is, yes, checking my processing times, how you guys mentioned. On Etsy, you're able to see your dispatch date. They'll give you a warning if you start to see things that are like, oh, this had to ship yesterday. If you're starting to get a lot of those, that means it's time to increase your production time. Don't let Etsy constantly pass your production time. You're going to get dinged. Make sure you're watching those as well. What you can do is if something is due tomorrow or it's due today, on Etsy, you can go to edit. You can hit update dispatch date and just send a note to your customer. So that doesn't count against your star seller. And then, yeah, if you're getting a lot of those, then it's time to just increase your production times.
Oh, good tip.
What I'm also doing is just setting expectations in my announcement bar and in my message to buyers. So putting things like Printify, once we usually get closer, you guys give us the cutoff dates. So I'll usually put my cutoff dates in both. I'll usually put a notification or warning about possible shipping delays due to the current influx. People are usually kind of expecting things during Christmas anyway, but just also communicating it. And just notes like things like, oh, these might be, if you order 2 different products, they might be in 2 different packages. I'm just trying to answer as many questions early on in that automated message to buyer. So I'm trying to reduce as many different questions I may get from people, just so you can reduce your customer service by just getting ahead of those questions earlier.
Okay.
And yeah, when you do have out of stock issues, I will sometimes have to message customers saying, look, I'm so sorry, I'm out of this color. Can I offer you this similar color? People aren't going to freak out. They understand. Even Etsy itself, people are expecting to buy from one person. They know a lot of stuff is handmade on Etsy. There's going to be these things. As long as you send them a really kind message saying, look, I'm sorry, let me know if you want a refund or if I can offer you this very other similar color. Most of the time, people are very kind. And then if there's someone who's just ruining your day, ruining your mental health over something, just refund them. It's not worth you losing sleep over. I honestly say that. Printify is so good at giving refunds or reprints if it's a quality mistake, if it was lost in shipping. So that's a big weight off your shoulder. But there are different cases where maybe Printify can't do something. It's a customer problem, not their problem, not your problem. 4 headaches. Sometimes just losing some profit off of a refund is worth than ruining your day over one customer.
Yeah, that's right. Live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You always talk about this, having the rainy day fund kind of. Can we talk a little bit more about your your philosophy for customer service is kindness, be prepared, right? Does your strategy for customer service, how do you change it for Q4 with the influx of messages and orders? Or does it change from the rest of the year?
It doesn't change too much. I am making sure that I'm cutting out more time for customer service. I know, like for sure around Black Friday, I make sure I'm online. That's like those holidays, that weekend specifically. I want to make sure I'm answering every question. So I usually actually don't plan too much on that weekend. And I make sure that I usually don't have any notifications turned on my phone. But that's a time where I probably will turn them on because you want to catch all of those orders where people are like looking to shop and they're looking to shop today. Um, so just making sure I'm a little bit more available. And yeah, just giving myself that extra time to answer things because you are going to be getting a lot more questions. And even before Q4, just making sure, trying to, and I use AI to do this, but trying to anticipate any possible questions you might get from people and making sure that's answered in all of your listing photos and your descriptions beforehand. We're just trying to minimize as much possible customer service and then just be more available during the major sales times.
What are some of the typical questions that you might answer in a listing photo, like some of the bullets that you would hit?
Yeah, so some of the things that you might get, like, does this run true to size? You might want to make sure. Like one question I got all the time that I actually made a change this year was I would have a size guide, but people would be like, "Oh, what color is that, or what size is that model wearing? If I'm usually this size, what size should I order?" People don't really like to measure stuff. They're not. I put a size guide, but I'm never actually pulling out a ruler. So one thing that I started including in all my listings this year is a fit guide. So it's a model wearing a small, a medium, a large, and extra large, and then like little notes underneath this. This model is 5'5", weighs this much. Usually wears a medium. If you want like a baggy fit, go up one size of your regular size. If you want oversized, go 2 sizes up. So just answering those questions has helped me reduce a lot of those types of questions. And when I just start to notice like questions that I'm getting a lot repeatedly, like maybe people are asking, "How do I wash this?" Make sure that's answered in your description as well. So just trying to get ahead of those possible questions. You might not know them until you start getting them, but once you do, try to find a way to work it into your listing.
Okay, wonderful. So looking ahead, what are your predictions for this year's Q4? What should we watch out for?
Oh, it's actually interesting this year. I was doing some research just yesterday, actually, on already what's kicking up in sales for the keyword Christmas gift. And I do believe Printify has launched so many new products this year, and I'm seeing those already among some top sellers for the word Christmas gift. So some of the new things that I saw yesterday when I was doing research for the best sellers right now, the one that like is there every year, but already ornaments are doing really well. But I also saw beach towels, customized beach towels doing really well. I saw the engraved tumblers doing really well. I saw hats, and customized engraved hats. So yeah, not engraved.
Embroidered.
Yes, embroidered. They both start with E. Yes, the embroidered hats doing so well right now. So right now, I'm just picturing and seeing a lot more range of possibilities for print on demand sellers to it not just be only t-shirts are going to do well, only sweatshirts. We're seeing a bunch of new products that were added this year already becoming bestsellers for gifts. And when I was doing research, a lot of these, like you mentioned earlier, have some level of personalization. Since I started on Etsy, every single year, personalization has become more and more important. I never started with personalization, and I've added it more and more into my store because, yeah, we're just seeing those become bestsellers a lot more than previously.
Okay, and do you find yourself spending more, like an inordinate amount of time fulfilling those personalized orders, or is it pretty streamlined?
It's pretty streamlined, honestly. I usually keep um, I've made the mistake in the past of having some personalized orders or personalized designs that I had to do way too much to. So keep them simple. A lot of the times, like for a lot of ornaments, it's just adding in a name. It's like just adding in a date. The customized ones I've seen, it's you already have a template. You like paste it in. And Printify also launched this year the way to automate that by if you have a simple text, you're able to put the personalizable text right within Printify. When an Etsy customer checks out and puts in their personalization, you can actually go see, you have to go review your Printify order, but you'll see it fully complete and you can approve it or edit it if you need. So things have also just been sped up in terms of that, if that's something you plan to focus on this year.
Okay, wonderful. Wow. Thank you for sharing your Q4 insights. Let's go ahead and answer some audience questions if you're ready. But first,
Yes.
if the folks at home want to be part of the CU online universe, what's the best way to what's the best way to do that?
So yeah, you can find me, yeah, on TikTok, mostly on YouTube if you prefer the longer form content, videos like this. CU online, that's c.u.online, my initials. And yeah, and I can talk to you and answer more questions there if you guys have. I'm talking a lot about Q4 and embroidery lately, just things that I'm really seeing kicking off as well as kind of the Q4 trends that I'm seeing. So if you want to stay on top of it, go check that out.
All right, check out Christina and all her socials. We'll have those in the video description down below so you can join up. All right, thank you, Christina. Let's go ahead and switch focus to our audience because they've got some questions, and let's see if we have the answers. Leah, what do you have for us?
Yes, okay, so we have a lot of questions tonight. It's great. Danielle C. is asking, does Printify ship everything on their end when connected to the Etsy store? I think this is a question for us, but
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, we fulfill it for you. That's the coolest thing about this business. You integrate your Printify account to your Etsy store. When an order comes in, guess what? We do all the heavy lifting for you. That's what's so beautiful about it. So it's a business you can run from your laptop, which you'll be super thankful for once you're fulfilling hundreds of orders a day, like Christina does.
exactly. Okay, Mary Mitchell Stewart asks, how do we bundle items? Now, we kind of mentioned this for stickers, but bundling anything is really good. And there are different strategies, but I think, Christina, you've got some good strategies for both Etsy, maybe Shopify.
Yeah, so for Etsy, they have a way to you can set up a discount code that says add one product to your order, and then you get a discount. You can also do the Etsy free shipping over $35, and if you have products that are under $35, they have to add more products to it. So Etsy already has kind of built-in systems that you can set up to help you encourage more sales that way. So I definitely recommend the bundled discount. So you can go to your marketing, your sales and discounts, and set those up. And then Shopify, there is a lot of different ways. You can either like have a bundled product already, sell things all together, but I prefer to have my product separate. And then you can have different apps on Shopify that upsell to the next product. So in your cart, you can set it up where, oh, here's our our other bestseller t-shirt. Add this and you get 20% off, limited time only. Or you can even set it up so after your customer purchases, they're set up to another page that they get a one-time discount if they add a different shirt to their product. So there's different ways that you can encourage more order or more products per order and get up your AOV, your average order value.
Yeah, I love those checkout apps. Up that cart value. Good advice.
Great question. Another really good question from Mike of All Trades. Is it true that Etsy starts to push your shop after breaking 100 sales? And they say your first 100 sales are the hardest.
I don't like it. It's all history, which is a little bit harder. Like they do say, and in everyone's experience, like your first sales are the hardest. It's because of the way that Etsy algorithm works. They're not just ranking you based on your keywords. They're not just ranking you based on your tags. It's also the history behind that listing. So has it sold? When it did sell, did it get good reviews? Is it being favored? Is it being clicked on? So at first, it's pretty hard to build that up. But that's why it's pretty funny. I've had many different products before where I listed them, crickets for months. And then I made one sale, and then I made a sale of that product the next day, and then it kept selling afterwards. That's because I didn't have any data behind that. And then luckily, someone found that listing, bought, gave it some data. So your first 100 are going to be the hardest. So if you really want to like kickstart that first 100, get some social proof, ask friends and family, ask them what they would like to buy, and create that for them. Reach out to, if you're in the community of that niche, say you play pickleball and you go to pickleball class, go tell all your pickleball friends about the shirts that you're selling. It is hard, but it's also not just Etsy pushing those out, but they want to push things, and buyers are going to buy based off social proof. They want to see other people have bought, other people have reviewed it well. So that's why it's so hard at first, really. But once you start getting the traction, it just keeps going like this, and your next sales just get faster and faster and faster. But I still have products that I just launched, and they might not get traction for a little bit until they kind of get that initial spark.
Okay. Yeah, that's why it's super crucial in the beginning to go all in on customer service and provide an excellent experience.
Yes.
So you can stimulate your customers to leaving a 5-star review after that awesome experience, and then build, like Christina said, some of that data. Wonderful, wonderful suggestion. What else do we have?
All right, the next question is about Printify Pop-Up from Work From Home Girl. I'm new to Printify Pop-Up and want to make sure I understand correctly. My understanding is that I only need to worry about paying the taxes for an order, and Printify handles everything else.
Yes, well, the Printify pop-up store is free to use. We certainly deliver on that promise. You don't even need a payment method on file. You create your products, list them for your retail price, and if somebody purchases that, we subtract the cost for fulfillment, and whatever's left is your profit, and we happily place that into a PayPal account, or there's a couple other different options now for you to receive your profits. But yes, taxes are a part of this, but we have, now I don't want this to turn into a tax discussion, because I am not a sales tax professional. I highly recommend you avail yourself of the services of a sales tax representative. But there is a way to sort of cross the T's, dot your I's with the IRS. And for the pop-up store, if you prove to us you are a legal business that is an entity that is legal in the eyes of the IRS, then what we'll do is we will turn off the sales tax for you, because your end customer is the one paying the sales tax. But we need to have all that documentation to prove that A, B, and C is all aligned, and you're doing what you're supposed to. You're a legal entity. You're gonna and you qualify for this. Then you can be sales tax free on our end. But that is a discussion that I'd love to have with you in deeper depths on perhaps one of my live Q&A sessions. So join me for that.
Good question. Next question is from Cousin Elizabeth. Is it best practice to order a mock-up for all designs? Now, order mock-ups or maybe order samples. I think maybe Christina, do you buy new mock-ups for every design, or do you order samples for every design?
I do not. I have way too many listings. I probably have over 1,000 just in my deactivated listings, about 1,000 live. I would be spending a whole lot of money if I was ordering samples for everything. So if I'm selling a new product, so say, like I just started kind of increasing my sales in embroidery. So I would get an embroidery sample just to make sure it turns out well. My first woven blanket I got a sample of, the sweatshirt. So every new product, I would get a sample just so you can confidently sell something. If I get a sample and it's like, I don't like this, you're not going to feel confident in selling it, versus things like the woven blanket. I got it and I was like, this is beautiful. Like, I can't wait to sell this because it's so nice. And just to understand, like, if you place something, how it's going to look. But yeah, I don't get a sample of every single design. You'll kind of learn as you go along. Like the placements, I use previews, the Printify previews to get my placements correctly. And then I just make all my mock-ups using Etsy. I buy the mock-up of that exact product, and then I'll use Canva or Kittl or whatever your design platform is to lay that on top and to make that mock-up.
Okay. Yeah, I love those woven blankets. Very surprised with how popular they are, actually. So I predict that that's going to be one of those products this Q4 that's really going to take off. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yes. Okay. Another question from Christian Bohannon. What is best practices for customer service on my end versus Printify's end? I'm unclear how much or how little customer service Printify is responsible for.
Well, I mean, let me frame it to you this way. The person purchasing from you is your customer, and you are our customer. So the service that we provide you is focused on and making sure your experience as the business owner and operator runs smoothly, and then you can in turn provide excellent service to your customer. So we focus on providing it to you in a timely manner, in a comprehensive manner, and provide you with the tools and features native on your Printify account for you to navigate through that as quickly and efficiently as possible. So that's basically how it works. You're responsible for your customer. We're responsible for you.
We actually recently published a video on our YouTube channel discussing this exact topic. It kind of gives you some ideas on what we'll cover, how we'll help you as our customer, and then how you can help your customer even further. So go check that video out. I think it'll answer your question quite well.
Right, but we should put an asterisk on this part, because like if you're selling on the pop-up shop or you're using Printify Connect or something like that, well then we would comprehensively handle your customer service on your behalf. Now Printify Connect is available to anyone who is a member of the Printify Premium program and selling on a standalone store, meaning not a marketplace like Etsy or eBay or Amazon. If you've got like a Shopify or a Wix or something like that, you can totally take advantage of that. But the pop-up store, we also handle your customer service there. So in that case, it's kind of better for you because we do all the heavy lifting for you in terms of the service. Okay, wonderful. I think we have time for a couple more questions.
Okay. We have a question from St. Lucia by Kirk. Do you have a recommended % markup for personalization?
Ooh, good question. Christina, what do you charge?
So I actually don't charge much extra because it takes me, it depends what level of personalization you're doing. If you're just changing a word, I don't charge extra, especially if you're finding a way to automate it like you can with Printify. If you were doing like a full portrait of someone, then you can upsell to that, but it's really like what it's worth to you. If you really hate selling personalized orders and the only thing that would make it worth it to you is to increase the value for that, add a few extra dollars. But if it takes you an extra second and that's worth the extra sales and just getting the more sales because it's personalized, then I don't charge that extra. Versus someone comes to me, is like, can you completely change this design for me, then I would charge for that time. But if it's a personalized design and I already have my profit margin that I like and I aim for 30%, then I'm not upcharging for that personally, but that's up to you. If it's not worth it, make it worth it for yourself.
Sure, that's great advice. And one other thing you could consider doing is just taking a tour of other people on Etsy that are offering personalization and things like that. See how their services compares to what you're offering, and see what they charge. Just so you get a feel for what the landscape looks like in terms of what people are charging and willing to pay for on Etsy, eBay, whatever, or pop-up, or out in the ether of the internet. It's important to just kind of sample your competition. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to apologize to everybody that if we didn't get to your question, but we have one more question for you, Christina.
Okay. This is a really good one from Blush Pixel Studio. How effective is outside traffic in actually converting to sales compared to Etsy's internal search traffic? Is it worth focusing on external traffic early on, or should I prioritize ranking within Etsy?
So this depends how much you want to spend time-wise. It's completely different. For me, for Etsy, I've always just relied on my own traffic. Just relied on organic traffic. I didn't have a Instagram account. I didn't run ads. I didn't even run Etsy ads. I was focused on getting out lots of different searches covered under Etsy. But that doesn't mean that you can't do that. The reason I don't do it for my Etsy is because my Etsy started and is still generally a general store. So I have tons of different niches, which makes it hard to build a social media brand. Versus on Shopify, where my Shopify store only focuses on just one of my best-selling niche, that's a little bit easier to do external and drive traffic because I can write blogs around one topic. I can create a social media account around just one topic. But I do think get those organic sales first, and then you'll start to see kind of what pops up. And then if you do find you want to focus your store on one niche and you have the extra time and you enjoy doing social media, then that's something you can do. I've also, for my Etsy, the only one that I've done is Pinterest. I got lots of views. I actually don't think it made a massive difference compared to the time that it took me to list. I kind of worked out for myself. I could probably get out more listings than I could in time for a Pinterest listing to kick off and really make that much of a dent in my sales, and the time better spent for me was creating a new listing. But it is what you like. You do get a discount if you send your own traffic to Etsy. You get the like share and save link, so you save 5% of fees, which is massive. Like, that is a huge, very big upsell to only pay a 2.5% fee if you drive your own traffic. But it's what you want to spend time in, really.
Okay, great answer. That was a great question. I'm glad we ended with that one. Christina, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I know our audience out there is more ready than ever for the upcoming holiday season. So thank you so much for initiating this conversation with us here at the end of July. It was absolutely wonderful. But we need to move on. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today, Christina.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It was so much fun.
All right, well, let's bring this home. But first, how about we give away our third and final coupon code, ladies and gentlemen, because this will be your last chance to win some instant money until we give away the link to our survey at the end of the show. So I'm going to ask you to pull out your Printify accounts one more time. On the left-hand side where it says wallet, click there, find where the reward center, and then find the coupon code section, because today's third and final coupon code is Take Some Time, all one word, just like this. And I included this because this time of year, during the traditionally slower sales season, it's important for you to take a breath, okay? We've been talking about this holiday season that's just around the corner. And believe me, it'll be here before you know it, folks. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. You're going to wish you could go outside and enjoy some sunshine. So take some time for yourselves, folks. Remember why you got into this business and enjoy the summer. All right. Well, folks, let's go ahead and give you a little bit of an action plan as how you can put to work all of the topics that we have covered today. And first amongst those are emphasizing the fact that you need to start early. That's why we're having this discussion about Christmas here at the end of July, because your level of preparation will directly affect your profitability during this season. So if you start now, you're going to be setting yourself up for success.
Next up, think about your mindset. You're gonna have to shift it a little bit, because during Q4, you're gonna get so many orders. It's not about fulfilling every single order, but fulfilling as many as you possibly can. Mistakes are gonna happen. Cancellations are gonna happen. Refunds. It's all part of the process. It's part of running a business. It's very normal. If you're prepared for that, it'll be okay.
Exactly. And make use of the tools that we have available to you. The network fulfillment status page, Printify Choice, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to hassle with out of stock issues. You want to make sure that your customers get their products as quickly as possible. Printify Choice is going to be your avenue to get there, and you'll pay less for the privilege. So really give some thought to employing these strategies this year, even if you only do it for the Q4 season, to be able to fulfill as many products as possible. It's something to give a lot of thought to.
Mm-hmm. And definitely define your product selection now very early, as well as your design strategy accordingly to all these different promotional events. We gave you an entire list of top selling products for this entire season. Define it now, set your goals, and hit those.
Exactly. And prepare yourself both mentally and physically for the upcoming stresses of the holiday season. You heard Christina talking about making herself available during these very crucial times of the year. Plan that into your schedule, because again, the faster you're able to answer your customers' questions and resolve their issues, the faster they're going to convert into a customer, and the more likely they are to become a repeat customer in 2026.
Mm-hmm. And we've said this a million times already, but add personalization. Now, it doesn't have to be to every single product, every single listing, but really experiment with personalization this year. We have made it way easier to do. It's gonna up your value. You're gonna get those orders.
And finally, folks, go all in on your customer service, okay? My apologies to you folks out that have heard me say this before, because I say it all the time. Treat your customer like your crush. Let them know you're interested, but don't come on too strong, okay? You're gonna be dealing with an influx of new customers, and providing them a comprehensively satisfying experience is gonna lead to them being repeat customers again in 2026. So go all in, make sure, and if you're offering top tier customer service, don't keep it a secret, okay? You'd be surprised how many times I'm talking with a merchant about a customer service strategy, and they've got it all mapped out, and they're making it a priority, but you don't find that anywhere in their listings or on their shop. So if you are providing this comprehensively positive customer experience, make sure your customer knows about it, because that may be the crucial element that converts them into a paying customer. All right. Well, let's end things with a little bit of a success story on a high note, ladies and gentlemen. This success story comes by way of Emily Ordio Sutton. Now, she was a full-time educator and mom that made a transition into print on demand and wound up making it a business worth $500,000 a year. And she did that in various ways, because she focused on gift niches on Etsy, and focusing on micro actions that she could do on a daily basis that she could accomplish, rather than focusing on things that she couldn't, like about how many people purchase or how many people reach out to her during a day. And it basically comes down to smart goal setting. Now, there's a very comprehensive article that we're going to pop into the chat. You can also find it in the description, but it's a very inspiring story, and I recommend everybody check it out. Emily is just by setting simple, predictable tasks, she avoids that burnout that we all want to avoid. So there we go. Emily Ordo Sutton, check it out in the link in the description. Wow, what a episode packed with all sorts of information, folks. Hope you were paying attention. You were keeping notes. You can revisit this anytime you like in the live section of our YouTube page. But let me give you one final invite to join me for my live Q&A sessions that I do on Mondays and Wednesdays on the Sellers Club. 100% free. We'll put that link into the chat. Sign up today. Come sit down with me. Let's talk about things that you want to talk about. You want to explore any of the topics that we talked about today. Happy to do so. Let's talk about whatever sort of roadblocks you're dealing with, and please allow me to be part of your success story. So join me for that. Let's go ahead and pop in that link I was teasing all episode to our survey. Those of you that fill it out, 3 of you will be selected at random to win a super awesome Clicks to Riches t-shirt and $50 of Printify sales credit. Let us know what you think about the show, what you want to see from us in the future, because we've got some really cool stuff planned for you in the run-up to our Amplified event. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're going to be back. We're going to be back in August, so stay tuned for that. But Christina, do you have any last words for our audience before we say goodbye?
Just start setting those goals and just know that you guys can do it. This is the time to get started. So if you have been holding yourself back for some reason, literally just start and don't overthink it. Just the action of doing, you are going to get so much better without realizing. So many people just don't start because they're just over researching. And my best thing is just dive in and don't overthink it, and cheering you guys on. But yeah, thank you for listening to me today. Listening to me today.
Exactly. Just do it. Pull that trigger. Get out there and get moving. Leah, do you have any last words for our audience today?
Yes. I love what Emily said. Really focus. Go all in on those things that you can control. Unfortunately, we can't control how many sales we get, but we can control how many listings we create a week. We can control how much time we spend doing SEO and keyword research. We can control how much effort we put into our design. So go all in on that, and the sales will follow.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today for this episode of the Clicks to Riches Show. On behalf of Christina Umerez and Leah, myself, and the rest of the staff here on the show, thank you for sharing your time with us. Good luck in Q4, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.